And hats off to Olivier Parnis, who has gained 2 points for the rejuvenated Ligier team, which we saw going beneath the waves for the 3rd time at one point in this season, until Flavio Briatore of Benetton did a deal and took over control of Ligier. And the money's been pumped in. Frank Durney has gone there as chief engineer. They've all done a superb job, and they're finishing the season with their tails very high indeed. Ferrari won't be unhappy with 2nd and 6th places, both of them earning World Championship points here in Australia. And for the record, Heinz-Harald Frentzen was 7th in the Sauber. Christian Fittipaldi was 8th here, as he was in Japan last Sunday. 2 Grand Prix in 8 days. And Pierluigi Martini 2 laps adrift, finished in 9th place. JJ Leto got a well-deserved 10th place for Sauber after a really appalling season for him, in which he lost confidence and hopefully has regained it. And the last official finisher was Frank Lagorce, the Frenchman, so both the Ligiers are home in the top 11, with retirements from Mika Hakkinen, Michele Alboreto, Marc Blundell, Jean-Denis Delatraz, the Swiss driver, Mika Salo from Finland, David Brabham from Australia, Italian Sandro Zanardi, Schumacher, Hill, Schiatarella, Katayama, Noda, Morbidelli, Irvine and Johnny Herbert. The fastest lap was by Michael Schumacher when he was trying to stave off Damon Hill, lap 29, 1 minute 17.140 seconds, and that's just about 1.8 seconds slower than Damon Hill's lap record in a very much quicker car in 1993. Williams have won the 1994 Constructors' Championship with those 10 points pulling away that Nigel Mansell gave them from Benetton, who are 2nd. Ferrari retained their 3rd position. McLaren Peugeot, in the last race of their partnership, retained their 4th position. And Jordan are 5th with their Hart power ahead of the Tyrrell team. Well, I said before, this season at Imola started in the most tragic and undesirable way possible. It wasn't actually the beginning race of the year, it was the 3rd race of the year. And then we went on with a great deal of rule changes, controversy, accusations of cheating, fire in the pit lane, which could have been absolutely terrible. But thank heavens, in the second half of the season, the impetus has built up and things have got a lot more exciting, with victory for Gerhard Berger in Germany and then Schumacher in Hungary. Those magnificent 3 successive wins for Damon Hill, which closed him right up to just 1 point behind Michael Schumacher in the championship. Schumacher comes back after his 2 race exclusions to win in Jerez. Damon Hill returns the tables with a superb fighting victory in appalling weather conditions in Japan, and neither of them win in Australia. But just for another twist, Nigel Mansell does so. It really has been a gripping season.
Yes, it has indeed, but such a great shame for me that the one potential rival to the mastery of Ayrton Senna in the shape of Michael Schumacher really has blotted his copybook here today. He made a simple driving error going off and clouting his right-hand front wheel. That in itself was possibly understandable. He was being pushed very hard indeed by Damon Hill at the time.
Congratulations on your first Grand Prix victory for a little over 2 years on your return to Formula One. But today, perhaps more than anybody, after your experiences here 8 years ago with that famous tyre blowout, you will know exactly how Damon Hill must be feeling today.
Yeah, but you know, I've got to say first of all what a fantastic job he's done. I mean, he brought the championship alive, he won those races which he had to, and I don't know the outcome of it. Obviously he's lost the championship, but I tell you what, I'm for one very proud, and the whole country should be. He's done fabulous.
Well, you certainly proved a point yourself this afternoon, and with this victory you surely indicated your desire to be back in Formula One full-time. How were the experiences today, and also perhaps a thought for the future?
Well, I mean, I think Gerhard summed it up on the podium, but I can't repeat what he said.
I just said we are all three, the first 3 together, 120 years.
He called me an old bastard.
Nice
as
for
well,
50,
yeah.
nice for 50, me 25.
Getting back to the race for a second. The Constructors' Championship also clinched today with your victory. Must be a great fillip for the team after a very, very difficult year.
Yeah, very difficult year indeed, and obviously very disappointing for the team, for Damon especially, but when there's a loser, there's a winner, and I have to say congratulations to Michael, who's done a fantastic job all year. Many congratulations, Michael.
Thanks.
Can we go now?
Turning to you, Michael. World champion. The first German world champion in the championship's 45-year history. But I'm sure that there are a lot of people, including yourself, who would not have wished to have seen the championship decided in this way.
Certainly, I mean, it was a very great battle between me and Damon in the stage of the race. Tough race, I have to say, and he has done really a good job during that race. We both haven't done mistakes, and it was really, really, I would say, thrilling for you at the outside. I have to say that I did make some comments this year that about Damon, that I didn't have that kind of respect that I maybe had about somebody else. But I have to admit that I was wrong, because what he has done in the last two races in particular, and he must have done even before, has been a proper and fantastic job. And it has been a great rival, and I must say sorry for what I maybe said, but I'd like to congratulate him for all his good jobs he has done so far. But nevertheless, the feeling about the championship, winning the championship, which I nearly won earlier this year, and then got banned for a couple of races and couldn't continue, lost a lot of points, where I thought now it's going to be very, very tough and difficult to make this championship up again. I'm just now sitting here and won it. It's a dream. The emotions in me. I mean, Nigel can talk about this as well. You can't really bring it outside. I mean, I just have them here and can't express them. Or
It will get better.
it will get better. It's great. I must really as well say that our team has this year done a really, really good job. With the package we had available, we really squeezed out 100%. There was nothing left. As you saw, it got more and more difficult towards the end of the season, but they have done a really, really good job, and I'd like to thank to these peoples. But I have something special to say about this whole season. The season has been started quite well, I would say, in Brazil. Even Aida, it was a good race, and then we came up to Imola, and what happened there is just when I talked about nightmare in the before, then I have to say it's in the other direction, and all of us know what kind of feelings we had to make about this in particular for Ayrton, but as well for Roland, and as well for Carl, what happened in Monte Carlo. For me, it was always clear that I'm not going to win the championship, and it's Ayrton who is going to win the championship, but he hasn't been there for the last races, and I'd like to take this championship and give it to him, because he is the driver who should have earned it. He had the best car, he was the best driver, and that's my feelings about him. It was difficult at the time to show my feelings, because I'm not somebody who likes to show the feelings to the outside, but I always thought about it, and it's the right time now to give something which I achieved, which he should have achieved, to give it to him. Thank you.
Well, Gerhard, race of excitement and drama.
First, I want to say congratulations to Michael. Well done. Very good. To say Michael did a brilliant job all the year. Not many mistakes. And I think he really deserved it. I'm sorry about Damon. I think Damon, as Michael says, showed, especially the last two races, that he also is able to do a great job. He also is able to win the championship. And it's always like this. One has to win it and one lose it, but he's gonna have still time to win it, and he's gonna do it. The race itself today was very hard for myself because I had to start in 11th position and I was stuck in traffic in the beginning. It was very, very difficult, but suddenly I found myself under good conditions behind Nigel. We had a good fight. Unfortunately, I did a mistake. I touched the curb and then went off. I was very, very lucky. And then I was very upset with Frentzen because he didn't look into the mirror. I spent 2 laps behind him. And
Pay him some money.
I think so. I was really surprised that he's not able to look into the mirrors. He's very disappointed in this, in a fighting situation like we was, but happened. And then I not really had any chance anymore to fight Nigel. But I'm happy like this. It's because before the race I didn't think that I'm going to be second. And he did a great job. I think cannot be possible. 50 years to be still pushing like this. But he didn't do any mistake and he was really great driving. Congratulations. Thanks.
Martin, your best result since Monaco earlier in the year, and this was the time for you to pull it out of the bag. Great performance this afternoon.
Yeah, I feel 21 years old today, that's for sure. Yeah, thanks, mate. It's really good to be up here amongst friends, you know. It's been a difficult year for the Grand Prix drivers, and we've pulled through it together in many ways. It's been a privilege for me to drive for McLaren through the season, and I'd just like to thank my many fans and my family who've supported me through what has at times been a difficult year, but here we are and we're going to have a party tonight.
Well, perhaps finally, before we go, an extraordinary race this afternoon. Comment from you first, Nigel, and then back to Michael.
Well, I can share Michael's feelings entirely. I mean, I'm a little bit numb. I hit the wall, I think, on the first lap and went off the track and in the air, and you know, then I was third, then I was first, then I was second, and we had a fight all the way through, and Gerhard just didn't let us have a rest. I mean, I was ready to take a breather out there, but there was no way. We were being pushed. But to Roseanne and to my 3 children, Chloe, Greg and Leo, it's extra special because now I've won every year since 1985, I think, so that's very special.
Michael, final thought?
Final thought. I mean, I talked about a lot of things before, and if I just could say as well to my family some regards, because they are sitting in front of the TV and crossed all the fingers. It was difficult for them as well this year, but they have been a big support as well as my girlfriend, as their parents, and a lot of people have been always behind me.
Okay, well, thank you very much and congratulations to all 4 of you.
Thank you.
Now, Michael, you've got a chance to talk to everybody at home in June.
4 very happy men in Adelaide, and that's the Australian Grand Prix and the 1994 World Championship, decided perhaps in the same mood of controversy that's characterised so much of the season. But for 35 laps, those first 35 laps, I'm sure you'll agree, it was Formula One at its best, and it was also Damon Hill at his best, proving emphatically, once and for all, that he's a very special talent in Grand Prix motor racing. But so too is Michael Schumacher, Germany's first ever world champion, after a season in which he's experienced Formula One in all its moods. Bye for now.
Well, if you can't wait until tonight, you can relive the whole race in about 2 hours' time at 7:45.